Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Good morning and welcome to the Ordinary Daily version of the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Thursday, June 13th. We are 45 days away from our redemption race, Ironman Lake Placid. Got a lot going on in those 45 days, man. I went through the schedule a little bit yesterday and I'm like overwhelmed now. And I did it to myself. I did. The 70.3 next weekend. The weekend after now, I'm going to USA Triathlon coaching class in Tempe, Arizona. I got to train while on the road. I mean, the only good news about that is I'm going to be training while being taught how to coach triathletes. So I'll be in a room full of triathletes. I'm guessing they'll understand. Look, I can't grab a beer tonight. Gotta go for a run. Probably half of them will run with me, I would imagine. We're looking forward to that. Anyway, I got to figure all this thing out. It's we're gonna talk about that in just a minute. I do want to remind all you guys that the 2020 Ordinary Marathon is open for early registration. We've been talking about it all week. I want to thank the people at Ascension Multisport for donating a Garmin Vivo Active 3. We'll be giving that away. We'll be raffling it off actually on June 23rd. So you have to register by June 23rd to be eligible to win. I got to tell you got pretty good odds right now. We don't have a lot of people that grabbed onto that early entry. I want to thank all the people that did. We do have a few, but you got pretty good odds here. So if you're planning on doing the 2020 Ordinary Marathon, head on over to ordinarymarathon.com, click that register now button. You'll be forwarded to the Forever Home Running page where you can register for the 2020 Ordinary Marathon. We've got our logo up. Our new logo looks great. It's going to look awesome on t-shirts. Really looking forward to everything. We did such a great job with the race last year. You can check out, if you've been thinking about whether or not you want to try a virtual run, I got to tell you, this is the virtual run to do. $25. You get the video is amazing. You can check that out on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. We really use some people on that subscriber list, trying to build that thing up. So hit that subscribe button while you're over there. You can check out the 5K, especially if you think you might want to be in the East Longmeadow or Longmeadow, Massachusetts area, Springfield, Massachusetts, Western Massachusetts. Did the 5K last year. We're planning on doing it again next year. So, check out that video. That we have a video of the 5K. We have a video of the whole virtual race. And I think everyone had a great time. You could be a movie star. You'll be in next year's video if you register and participate. It's awesome. $25. You get to, we give tons of money to charity, a great charity, a charity that we're in touch with directly. So we know what the money is going for and what they're doing with it. It's just really, it's a feel good event. You're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to have fun doing it. So, and you can win a watch. I know how it is with the watches, right? You buy one, they're expensive. They last 2 or 3 years and the band breaks or, the GPS is blown or whatever. And you want a new one, but you don't really, because it kind of works. It doesn't, you kind of want a new one. This is the way to get a new one. You register, you cross your fingers, you hope you win. I can't wait to give it away either, because I know whoever wins this thing, I know you're going to need it. You're going to want it. It's a good gift. So, and it's a good watch, really good watch. Vivo Active 3. Thanks again to Ascension Multisport. A little bit of update on training. So yesterday, the thing was splitting custody. This is no knock on Sam's mom or anything like that. But Sam was sick yesterday, home from school sick. Sick. I don't know. She's got bad allergies. She really does. She always coughing and sneezing and runny nose and, all that fun stuff. But, and I guess she threw up the night before. So when you throw up, they tell you the guideline is you got to wait 24 hours before you go back to school. So, her mom called me yesterday, said she was keeping her at home from school. And since I'm going to be home, she dropped her off here for the day, which was great. And Sam was she wasn't really, I don't know that she pulled a fast one, but yeah, she was in good, she wasn't too sick, put it that way. So we were downstairs, and trying, I got this girl all day long, and it's like just a matter of trying to make it some productive time. That's the challenge for parents these days. You got, the easy thing to do is hand them the iPad and have them watch videos and YouTube and play Roblox. Shoot me in the head for Roblox. My God. And the thing is, they never want to do things like read, exercise, and it's like pulling teeth to do that. So yesterday, I did make her read, and actually she's reading a book called The Adventures of a Girl Named or Called Bicycle, which is written by Christina Us, who's going to be on the podcast tonight. We're going to do the interview tonight. Really looking forward to seeing Christina and talking to her about this book and her journey and how she wrote this book. But Sam, it's one of these things with kids where you tell them, hey, go read. And she does the same thing for everything. It's like basketball practice or anything that sounds like it's not sitting on your butt watching YouTube and playing video games. It's like it's pulling teeth to get her to do. So we get her to read, locked her in a room. She was like, I think at one point she was playing her computer. I had to like stop that. And, it's one of those things. She's like, Dad, come look how many pages I read. Like, she's so excited to show me how many pages she read, and how much she's enjoying the book. If she would just be able to choose to do it. I would just want her to choose to do it, do something productive as opposed to just wasting your life on, sitting in front of a screen. So the other thing that we did was we did yoga together. So I've been doing the yoga all the time now, it's like part of my routine. And I'm in this new phase now. So we did a core/upper body routine. And I asked Sam if she wanted to do yoga with me. She said yes, and she tried. She had a little trouble with it. Some of the core stuff was pretty advanced and difficult. Now, I'm no expert in yoga for sure. I was having some real trouble with it, and she was too. And she kind of quit and laughed it off sometimes. But at least she didn't quit the whole thing. She just would quit if she was in too much pain at a certain period of time, which is fine. The bottom line was we had fun. We did a half an hour yoga. It was productive. At least it was productive time. So that was our training yesterday morning. And then yesterday evening, I did a bike ride. Got in the trainer indoors about 8:30 or so. Did about 45 minutes on Zwift. The thing with the Zwift, I did a training program. It was going to be 2 hours. And when you reset your FTP, so I did a race the other day and I did really well. And it reset my FTP really high for me. So it was 231 is my watts per hour, whatever FTP. So then they set all the workouts based off of your FTP. Now, yeah, I can do that 231, but man, they just challenge you really hard on a workout that I just kind of want to kick out 2 hours. And the resistance was just crushing me. So I did 45 minutes on Zwift, and then I changed it over. I went to this other app that I have called, I think it's Rouvy, they pronounce it, but it's Rouvy. And what it does is that mimics other courses. So it shows you the map of a course that you're doing, a real life course. So I uploaded Mont Blanc. I hadn't seen the hill profile. I don't know what it's all about. I've heard it's a lot like Lake Placid. And in certain instances, I could see, you can just look at the picture of the profile and you can kind of see why people would think that or say that. But I think what I've noticed is a lot of steeper, shorter hills in Mont Blanc than there is in Lake Placid. Steeper and shorter. And I haven't really practiced a lot on steep hills. I do a few hills on my ride. So it's not necessarily, it's not psyching me out or anything. It's just, I'm glad I kind of took a look at the course just to get the layout and figure out what to expect when I go up there next weekend. I can't believe this race is already next weekend. But that's what it is. So all in all, I did about, a little over an hour, on the bike yesterday. Which probably, again, it's all right. It's not knocking it's not knocking my socks off or anything. I'm not like super proud of it. I feel like I could have done some more. I didn't stay up all night to watch the finals of the Stanley Cup. I was rooting for the Blues. I just feel like I lived in Boston. I've rooted for the Bruins in the past in the Stanley Cup finals, when I lived there. And then I think Boston is, the funny thing is they used to be so humble with their sports. The Pats were never winners. The Red Sox hadn't won since the 1700s or something. And the Bruins didn't win in a while. I don't even remember. It was 70s or something. They used to be so humble, and now they're just obnoxious. They need to be knocked down a few pegs. I can't wait for Brady to retire. I don't know. I hope their baseball team breaks. I see Pedroia is almost done too, but I don't think he's key anymore anyway. But anyway, so I was happy that the Blues won but I learned that when I woke up this morning. I didn't stay up all night to watch the game. Again, prioritizing sleep over things that I kind of want to do, so that's key. That's key, especially in these next 45 days. Training today. I'm going to get out after the podcast. I'm going to get out. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I think I need to do a run. I think that's definitely what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a run. I'll probably do it on the treadmill. It's raining outside. It's supposed to rain all afternoon, but I will check the weather. And if it's going to hold out or just be a little bit light rain, I'll just do the run outside. And then tonight we're actually going to lift tonight. And the reason I'm lifting tonight and not in the morning like I usually do is because Sam said she might want to lift. Pretty cool. Maybe get this kid into training. I would like that. I would like that for her. And then we got the podcast, obviously, with Christina Us at 7. My hitch, guys, this is other great news. I actually started the podcast a little bit before, and my phone rang, and it was the car place. The hitch on my car has been added. Without any side effects or repercussions. They still needed another part, supposedly, but now it turns out that they didn't need that part. So it looks like things are working. And it looks like we're going to get that bike rack on the car. We'll be all set for next weekend to take it out. I'm going to do a ride on Saturday. That's the plan. The plan initially was I was going to ride Sunday, but now I'm moving it back to Saturday because of weather. Looking to do about 65 miles on Saturday. Going to push myself pretty good on that ride. That's the last ride before. That's going to be my last sort of exertion workout before the 70.3. I'm going to taper next week, but it's not going to be a super taper. It's not going to be like, it's going to be just, continue to work out. I'll probably do a run or two early in the week. I'll probably continue to do some bikes, but nothing nothing too strenuous that's going to hurt or lead to an injury or anything like that. I'm going to be fueling myself as hopefully as efficiently as possible, just with the focus on getting to that race. And then hopefully caveman brain doesn't take over and I just treat it as a training event, just treat it as another training weekend. That's the hope for next week. So we'll see, see how things go. Let me see, the running store. I meant to give you guys an update on this yesterday, but I didn't. I didn't actually go to the running store like I said I was going to do. I wrote a message on Facebook to Fleet Feet because I wanted to find out. So here's the problem, right? So my local running store is a Fleet Feet Longmeadow. And the two people that run it and own it helped us out with the Ordinary Marathon 5K. They did an excellent job. And I love the people in the store. They always treat me nicely. They always, I shop there. Sometimes I shop there even when I know I can find cheaper prices on Amazon just because I want to support them. It's in my local running store. And, they've helped me find sneakers. They've, the proper sneakers. They've done well by me. They've done right by me. There's been occasion where I send them emails and they don't respond, I will say. So it's not 100% love relationship here. It's like kind of like still, come on guys, like let's get a little answer on some of these questions. But obviously they've been going through something the last few weeks, so maybe I'm going to give them a little break on this one. So supposedly their Fleet Feet corporate just kind of stepped in and said, hey, thanks for all the hard work, Mr. Franchise Owner, but we're going to end this relationship now and we're taking over the store. And now they're out, which is like devastating. A lot of people in the local community love the group runs. They love everything about the ownership of the store. And that's why they shop there. They don't shop there because it's Fleet Feet. They shop there because they know the people, which makes sense. And I think it's one of these things where I think, if Fleet Feet thinks they're going to keep this store open and running under their name, I think that's a big mistake because I don't think it's going to be as profitable as it was. Certainly, I'm not going to go there and buy an item that I can get cheaper on Amazon just because I know the people anymore. It seems like a really crappy thing to do. Now, so a lot of the locals got really angry, and Facebook and whatever, people are just flipping out. Me, I'm obviously upset about it. I'm obviously not going to give them my business over the next, until I figure things out. But I really haven't heard a story here, and I kind of would like one. before I make decisions, I don't know. Corporate came in and kicked out the franchise owners. That, I don't know. It sounds a little like there could be more to that story. I just don't know what it is. So I'm kind of withholding judgment. I wrote Fleet Feet, and they kind of gave me the whole, because there are people involved, we can't give details, but we had to do it. We made this decision. We know it was tough. We hope you support the store. We hope to re-earn your trust, kind of thing. Some college graduate in marketing and sales relationships created that message and sent it to me. So it's just the generic response. But again, I would have gotten that generic response whether it was, whether the answer was yes, there's a reason why they did this, a good reason that I should be fine with, or no, there is no good reason. I would have gotten the same answer. I didn't really expect any different. But it was nice to get an answer. At least you got an answer. Anyway, what annoys me is you get into a routine. I go there every Friday and I pick up my nutrition for my long workouts, my long runs, my bikes, whatever. I go there, I shop, I buy stuff there. They have good deals. They did our 5K last year. So I don't know what's going on with the store. It drives me a little bit nuts because it upsets me, because it's all about me. It upsets me. So therefore I'm upset. I don't know. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. I'm delusional. Anyway, I read a comment. We had a woman named Susan Haig on the podcast a few months ago. I think she has the record for finishing the most Ironman full triathlons. And I don't know if it's Ironman or just maybe full triathlon distance race for a female. And she's crazy. She's got a lot of stories to tell. She's really fun to follow on Facebook. She posts a lot of stuff. She was a great guest on the podcast. I don't even think I spoke. I don't even have to ask her, "Hey Susan, how you doing?" Good. She just took over the podcast, which is great. It's great when I don't have to think. So her comment was she does a lot of these non-Ironman triathlons. I think they call them independent triathlons, which basically there's Ironman and then there's everybody else. And, her comment was she likes these smaller races and there's a lot of good things about these smaller races. And yet, anytime Ironman opens up a race, it seems like people flock to it and they really register and sign up. It's like a race to anything Ironman is like a race to sign up for it. And anything independent, it's like they're pulling teeth trying to find people to participate in these events. And it's kind of like similar. And the reason I bring it up today was because I was going to talk about the running store thing. And I thought about that it was kind of like similar to that, where it's like you have a corporate entity, in this case, Ironman, who they buy smaller races. They've done it here in Connecticut. Ironman Connecticut was quasi before. It was independent. And now it's a half Ironman event. And they do that. That's like they're just expanding. Everyone loves the M dot. They love, it's like you finish an Ironman, you got to get the tattoo. I haven't got it, but if I finish this one, I'm probably getting it. I hate to say it. It's one of those things where it also kind of ties in. I think it all ties in too. It's like Ironman was such a unique sort of exclusive type of event, and now they're just everywhere. So whereas the tattoo, does the tattoo lose meaning? Does the tattoo lose meaning if everyone's doing it? And it reminded me of the Mount Everest picture we showed the other day, where at the top of Mount Everest is a one lane path up to the top, and there are hundreds of people in line. People are actually dying from the delay, from like altitude sickness and stuff. They're dying from the delay because there's a line at the top of Mount Everest. So the question becomes, is it any, really it's twofold. Is it any less of an accomplishment if everyone's doing it? That's part one. And part two is, In terms of, well, yeah, I guess the unique thing about the Everest comparison is there's only one Mount Everest, right? There's no like other label Mount Everest. It's not like you can go climb K2 or Denali or Kilimanjaro and be like, yeah, I reached the highest point. No, you didn't. Those are not as high. So in that case, there's no comparison. But in terms of an Ironman event, hey, you get through the 140.6, whether it's an Ironman sanctioned event or not, that's still a full triathlon. So then the question becomes, is doing these independent races, it's something we should be looking into? Is it something we should be doing more of? Are these independent races? Is there a reason why Ironman races get so much publicity and get so much attention? Do they do it that much better than the independent races? I mean, I know when I go to Lake Placid, I know when I went to Maryland, it's an Ironman town for those weekends. Those races take over. And I'm sure it's a benefit to the town. They make a lot of money. The athletes seem to love it and have a good time. I never hear anyone complain, oh, this Ironman isn't up to snuff. This Ironman is, not as good as the other one. It's like they all seem to be great events. So it's almost like, yeah, you know what? If you sign up for an Ironman sanctioned event, you know what you're going to get, and it's going to be good. But these independent events, I don't know. I've never tried one. So I'd love to hear some comments from you guys. If any of you guys have done independent, there could be independent races. I mean, look, our 5K was independent 5K, right? And yeah, this is a marathon, an ordinary marathoner, right? So it should be more of a running podcast. So, you get your major marathons, your New York City, your Boston. I would even lump Marine Corps marathon into that. But then, I've done some smaller marathons, Hartford, Fort Lauderdale, Phoenix, kinda, not really. So the question becomes, do you do these smaller events? Is there any allure whatsoever, other than maybe price? Maybe they're cheaper. But in terms of experience, is there anything worth exploring in races that aren't as established as the mainstream races? You guys tell me. Write them in the comments. Write them in the comments. Put them on the Facebook page. Do whatever. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I do like the idea, though, of supporting individuals more than corporate. I do like that idea when it comes to these, especially when it comes to this sort of, there's this whole concept, I think, of independence and freedom in terms of like a sense of personal freedom when you're out running in the woods or on a trail or on a road or out cycling on a path or doing whatever. It's like a freeing thing, and it's like an individual thing, and it's almost like you want to kind of keep that smallness. You want to keep that personal touch. And there's something about like the MDOT and corporate America, there's something about that take away from the experience. I don't know. For me, I kind of like the Ironman races. I know what I'm going to get. I know I can watch that really cool video on YouTube. Anything is possible. That thing gets me fired up every time still. You know what you're going to get, I don't know. Does it matter? And then that's the last part. Does it even matter? Does it matter if you're signing up for local races or, smaller local races or the big ones? Does it matter? It's still, it reminds me of the scene in Hoosiers. If you ever saw the movie Hoosiers, when they're going to the state championship and the coach takes the tape measure out, goes because they're in the big gym, the big arena. So they go on the court and the coach takes out the tape measure and he like measures the foul line 15 feet. He measures the hoop 10 feet, which was the same exact dimensions in their gym back in Hickory, right? At their little small high school gym. So basically saying it doesn't matter how big the arena is. It doesn't matter if you do an Ironman or if you do a smaller triathlon. It doesn't matter if you run New York City Marathon or if you run Hartford Marathon or smaller. There's much smaller marathons too. I know that town of Cheshire, Connecticut was looking to do a full marathon. They do a half every year. Would it matter? The distance covered is the same. For some reason, is there more allure to independent races, smaller races? I don't know. I don't have an opinion on this yet. Let me know if you do. We're going to wrap it up here for the day. 45 days remaining till redemption race. I wanted to talk about my schedule, but we're going to talk about that, I think, tomorrow, because it pretty much blew up in my face when I registered for this coaching clinic. So we'll figure it out. We'll talk to you guys about this tomorrow. Remember, every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary. So get after it today, guys.
Remember to like our video and subscribe to our channel.